that Thorn storyline was tragically cut short, so time to reboot, I suppose. Halloween H20 20 Years Later, that's a long ass title, was released in 1998, directed by Steve Miner, starring Jamie Lee Curtis, Josh Hartnett, and LL Cool J. And yeah, like I said, the Thorn storyline was cut short due to Donald Pleasance tragically passing away. So they decided to move the franchise a different direction and bring Laurie Strode back. So let's go ahead on with this review, starting off with the good. And I do like quite a bit of this movie. First of all, Jamie Lee Curtis is back as Laurie Strode, and she's just as great as ever. Like I said, Jamie Lee Curtis, along with Viola Davis, is my favorite actress of all time. So obviously, I'm going to love anything with her in it. And I just love the way she plays the character. As a character who's haunted by the events of the original movie. And this did erase 4 through 6. So first two movies are the only ones canon with this one. And I just really like the way that she was haunted by the events of Michael Myers attacking Haddonfield, and also with her now knowing that she is Michael Myers' sister. She just feels this big burden on her because she's the sister of literal evil. Then you have Josh Hartnett in this movie as Laurie's son. I really like the way he plays the character. I like how he does feel like a natural mother-son relationship with Jamie Lee Curtis. I think they work great together. And also, I thought it was a really nice Easter egg that the lady who played Marion Crane in Psycho, who is Jamie Lee Curtis's mother, had a cameo in this movie as one of Laurie's friends, and she actually drives the car that she drove in Psycho. I just thought that was a nice little Easter egg. And also, you have LL Cool J as a security guard at the school that Laurie Strode teaches at, and I just thought he was funny. I thought he was a great character. I'm glad he didn't die at the end. And of course, you have Michael Myers, and he's just as great as ever. I loved this portrayal of Michael Myers by Chris Durand. I thought he was low key, but he was also brutal when he had to be, and the kills were great, especially the opening kill where he kills Joseph Gordon-Levitt with a hockey skate. And also you have Nurse Marion from the first one, played by the same actress. She comes back for the opening and she dies as well, but it's a great opening. I really love the touch of the classic theme playing while the camera pans over all these news clippings and doctor's notes that Loomis left for Nurse Marion. I thought that it was a really cool opening, and it set up the tone of the movie very well. And also with the tone, this movie is kind of meta, but kind of not. This was made in the aftermath of the first Scream movie, taking the horror genre by storm, flipping it on its head. And so this movie was made to not compete, but show respect to Wes Craven's Scream. I really liked that. And the atmosphere, it's a little less tense than past films, but way more tense than what comes after this, but we'll get to that later. I still really like the atmosphere here. It's great, and like I said, the kills are great. And the ending to this movie was terrific. I really wish that they hadn't followed it up with the sequel, but I really liked the ending of this movie. It felt like a natural conclusion to the story. But that's about all for the good. Let's go ahead on to the bad. And there's a couple things I'm not a fan of. First of all, I have heard all the complaints from everybody online about the whole mask debacle throughout this film, how the mask constantly changes. Like at one moment you can see his eyes, and at the other moment he just looks like an alien. And there's a scene where they use a CGI mask. I get all those complaints. I am not a fan of any of the masks in this movie. As much as I like the portrayal of Myers, yeah, the masks, they can go. And also, I didn't mind the atmosphere being less tense. I just could have used a little bit more tensity, I guess, but that's about all for the bad. On to the final thoughts. I really do enjoy this movie. I thought it was a great way to pick up the series after Donald Pleasance had sadly passed away, and still carry it on with a different main character with Laurie Strode. So Halloween H20 20 years later is a great movie, still to this day. I love it, and I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. So that was my thoughts on Halloween H20 20 years later. What are your thoughts on this movie? Let me know down in the comments. I'd always love to hear from you. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the worst movie ever made.